Thanks for joining us on this Facebook Live, and I'm joined today by Matt O'Brien, Affairs Director of Research, and Shari Rendall, Affairs Director of State and Local Outreach. She also handles a lot of our field programs. So we're going to talk Montgomery County. Montgomery County that's been in the news lately, big time. A lot of you who live in Montgomery County, myself included, very concerned about recent news reports that there is an illegal alien crime wave overtaking the county. If you live in Montgomery County in particular, we want to see your comments and we will respond to them here on Facebook. Montgomery County has had a policy now for several years, but they recently signed an executive order to put down an iron curtain between county officials and the immigration services to assure that illegal alien criminals are in general not picked up for removal or deportation. And that effect is we have an illegal alien crime wave in the county. Frederick County, where they have a robust program of cooperating with immigration authorities under the very capable Chuck Jenkins sheriff, has not had a similar crime wave. And Montgomery County residents are getting pretty upset, and they're getting support from national figures, people like Sebastian Gorka, Michelle Malkin, who's made this a personal crusade, and others. And at the rally in Montgomery County last week, Shari was out there, and she was a speaker. So she's going to tell us a little about the rally and give us some very interesting information. And then Matt's going to really drill down on what we know about what's happening in Montgomery County. So we're really talking about a basic policy that says, you come here illegally, you commit a crime, you should be identified for removal after you serve the time, right? Is that happening? No. All right. Montgomery County residents were upset. And what happened last week in Rockville?
Well, last week, the individuals who want enforcement, who don't want to shield our criminal aliens anymore, rallied in Montgomery County. We had, as you mentioned, Michelle Malkin, Sebastian Gorka, Larry O'Connor was the moderator from WMAL, a local radio station here, and we had Tom Fitton and many others, including two angel families, Arlene Cohen, who is the mother, and Marla Wolf, the wife, who were there speaking about their loved ones who were permanently separated at the hands of an illegal alien. And Marla's husband was, in fact, a legal immigrant from Venezuela. She kicked off the rally trying to get the attention of the opposition who were holding their own rally across the way. And she was directing her comments to them, asking them to listen. And they were literally going up against her as much as they could and totally trying to shut her out, talking over her, etc. And it was just a real show of how they didn't want to face what was actually happening in their county. The really good thing, Dan, is that
I'm going to shut this off, right? Here we go.
The really good thing was that our side outnumbered the opposition, which is very unusual, which shows the emotion behind this that's really moving in the county.
Let's talk about the opposition. Now, who was out there across the street from you guys? All right, this is important. Listen up.
Well, one of the speakers was County Executive Mark Elrich, who actually signed the executive order. It was his executive order promoting community
trust. So the county
trust.
executive himself joined who?
They joined the opposition, which included Casa de Maryland.
Casa de Maryland. Okay, what do we know about Casa de Maryland? Where do they get their money?
Well, most people don't realize this, but some of their money comes directly from Montgomery County government.
So if you're a taxpayer in Montgomery County, your money is going to Casa de Maryland so the Montgomery County Council can pay people to advocate policies on their behalf that cause American victims to die.
That is correct.
And who are the actual demonstrators on the other side?
They're paid demonstrators.
So these are
encouraged.
We know they're paid?
I don't know that they are actually paid, but on some occasions they have been
this
paid.
is organized thuggery by people who are trying to intimidate residents, right? Now, what do the council people themselves say the folks on our side are who want to simply see the laws enforced? What are the labels they use?
Well, they've been calling our side racist, neo-Nazis, xenophobic. There's a whole bunch of terms.
So the Montgomery County Council is telling everybody who lives in Montgomery County who doesn't agree that we should be shielding illegal alien criminals from deportation, neo-Nazis. Okay, if you're from Montgomery County, you live in Montgomery County, your county council, my county council, is saying you're a neo-Nazi. Now, I am sick and tired of having to face and look into the eyes of people who have lost loved ones at the hands of illegal alien criminals, should not have been in the country in the first place. It is sad, it is tragic, and to see the callous and unfeeling response from these officials who simply push back and have the audacity to call these kind of names. I happen to know a lot of these angel parents were not politically involved before the death of their children or what have you, but they are motivated by what happened to them, their personal tragedy in life. Yep. And the more they dig down and the more they discover the abject corruption, the abject self-dealing that's involved in these advocacy organizations. Arlene Cohen was on Fox News the other day, and I know her quite well. She was commenting on the fact that Casa de Maryland paid the legal defense of the illegal alien that killed her son, as well as his bail. Casa de Maryland using money coming from the county council, which is also working to make sure this guy did not get deported. How, as an American citizen, is she supposed to accept the reality of what is happening? And this is the result of one-party government. You have total dominance of the Democratic Party in Montgomery County, and no alternative points of view are allowed. And this kind of intimidation, these intimidation tactics, why is the county executive siding with Casa de Maryland and not with all the people of the county? And why is the county council setting itself at defiance of what is obviously a majority point of view in the county? And people are now beginning to rise up and speak up, and we want to hear your comments and questions. FAIR was out there at this rally, and we will continue to push against these sanctuary policies elsewhere. Now, there really is an illegal alien crime wave, and Matt O'Brien has just completed an important report that you can find on our website, Montgomery County's Illegal Alien Crime Wave. It's on our website, and it is a fabulous 6-page analysis of what is happening and why. Matt, thanks for joining us. Give us kind of some of the highlights of what's in this report.
Well, over the last 6 or 7 weeks, there have been 9 separate individuals who were illegal aliens arrested on rape or other sexual assault charges in Montgomery County.
9.
And
since July 25th.
That's correct. And that doesn't even include people arrested for other crimes. It just so happened that WJLA, one of the local media affiliates, caught on to the trend here and began covering it, and it seems like we don't have a day that goes by where they don't wind up arresting another illegal alien for a sex crime in Montgomery County.
So you've gone through each of these cases in some detail, right? As well as the disposition of these cases, and then a little bit of the policy background about how the county council has responded, right?
Well, the county council has said that it does not want to cooperate with ICE, and that all of this is the result not of their bad policies, but of xenophobia and racism.
And neo-Nazism, don't forget that, fascism. Now, Sheriff Chuck Jenkins, a very capable sheriff of Frederick County, he cooperates with ICE. He cooperates with immigration authorities. Frederick County had this kind of rampant crime wave?
No, it hasn't. And this is the problem. Montgomery County has made itself a target for these illegal aliens by offering to protect them from ICE. So if you're an illegal alien criminal and you know that Montgomery County isn't going to cooperate with ICE and is likely to pay for your defense, why wouldn't you go there?
So the county is arguing, Montgomery County, is that enabling illegal aliens to report crime without fear of deportation will prevent crime? What's the evidence of that?
There isn't any evidence. That's a common argument that's used, but we've found that the data just doesn't stack up.
You look at SCAP data, right?
We looked at SCAP data. That's the State Criminal Alien Assistance Program, which is a program where the federal government reimburses states for incarcerating illegal alien criminals. And what the states do is they send a report each year to ICE to get paid, detailing the illegal aliens who have been in their jails and other correctional institutions.
And police officers, when they arrest somebody for a crime like this, sex offense or what have you, often involving children apparently, they see the person post bond, walk away. Apparently the 9th one was able to post bond, right?
Yes.
Where did he get the money to post bond, do you suppose? $100,000 bond?
He probably got it from the organizations that Montgomery County is funding.
So do people understand that Montgomery County is funding the crime wave, that they are causing the crime wave and then turning around and demonizing Americans who object to a policy that is clearly a threat to community safety? Does this make any sense? Your tax money going to subsidize a process of protecting illegal alien criminals? How can this possibly be justified?
It's not justified. It goes beyond just sex crimes. During the 2017 to 2018 fiscal year, Montgomery County had a 67% increase in gang crime alone, just crime that was perpetrated by people who are affiliated with gangs. And the county has about 15% of the total state population of Maryland, but it has about a quarter of all of the illegal aliens who are incarcerated in the state of Maryland in Montgomery County jails.
So what's the next step? What happens now?
Well, I think that the county commissioner, county executive, the county council all have to come face to face with the fact that their policies are attracting illegal alien criminals, and until they stop doing that, until they start cooperating with ICE, they're going to probably have an ongoing crime wave which runs the risk of getting even worse than it has been.
But what evidence do we have that there could ever be a sufficient number of crimes for them to change the policy? I mean, the county council seems so locked in through the funding loop between the people supporting them and the policies that they can't possibly break free of it. We have a one-party system. There's no two-party system, so you don't have any alternative points of view, right?
That seems to be the case, and I think that's why this has gone on for so many years in the county, and there aren't any signs that it's going to stop.
So go ahead, Shari.
Although they are starting to feel some pressure, you do see the fact that we've held the rally, that we've been putting pressure on the county council, having some impact. In fact, Executive Mark Elrich actually did meet with ICE, and he hasn't acknowledged that he's doing anything yet, but there is a meeting. And so if people in Montgomery County continue to weigh in, continue to put that pressure on, maybe we can move that dial. Maybe, it's going to take a while, but it's going to take a concerted effort and help from everyone out in the county to call the county council and to put pressure on them and to continue.
Well, the point is that the policies that are being promoted by the county council are very well organized. They're organized because they're subsidized, because they're funded, not only by county itself and the government itself, but also by the Open Society Institute, Ford Foundation, and others that have built Casa de Maryland into this little mini political juggernaut in Maryland. And their policies make it clear they do not want to see any kind of immigration enforcement in the state of Maryland, and certainly not in most of these counties. The only way to push back against this is if every citizen who cares about the future of their county, this county, rises up and speaks with one voice. And that's why I hope you will do that and write to Mark, put some pressure on Mark Ehrlich and the county council. Push back. They're off doing other weird things. They're not, they want everybody to have air conditioning. I mean, they're off in a million different directions. You really need to download this report. If you live in Montgomery County, download this report, please. And even if you don't, download this report. Take a look at it, because this is coming to a place near you. FAIR is now running some targeted videos in Montgomery County that talk about the consequences of this ill-considered sanctuary policy. Anything else you want to add on this report?
Well, I think it's interesting, Dan, you mentioned the air conditioning. The law enforcement agencies in Montgomery have a combined budget of about $300 million. If they got rid of all these illegal aliens who are committing crimes and let ICE remove them from the country, it's very possible that their law enforcement budget would lower and they would have money for programs that did things for citizens of the United States.
Okay, well, that's interesting. All right, anything else happening on the field scene nationally since you're sitting here along the border? Anything we should talk about?
Well, one of the things we're seeing is the push to give illegal aliens driver's licenses. We're seeing a push up in New Jersey. The governor is calling for the legislature to pass it. They're not inclined to do so, but once again, we need people up there to make calls to their legislator and oppose giving driver's licenses to illegal aliens. We're seeing the same thing up in Massachusetts. We actually had one of our angel families who testified against the bill to give driver's license actually booed during the hearing.
Yes, if you can believe that, somebody who lost a loved one and who is concerned about a repeat of, say, 9/11, here it is on the anniversary, booed by these professional activists. Now, it's important to understand the money that is going to these organizations as part of a well-financed, autocratic, a grassroots, so-called grassroots, artificial grassroots operation happening nationally. They are operating in conjunction with Democratic Party operatives and the George Soros Open Society Institute to build these coalitions all across the country to try to lobby to promote illegal immigration, destroy U.S. immigration enforcement, repeal or get rid of ICE. And as you can see, these policy positions have now spilled up to the presidential candidates and the Democratic Party who are running for office in 2020. And this is a very serious threat to the ability of this country to regulate borders, regulate immigration, jeopardizes really our whole national self-determination. And this is a threat not to be taken lightly. Whoever wins the election, let's assume it's not Donald Trump getting reelected, these candidates are all foursquare into the idea that people who broke the law need to be rewarded, given green cards, given the right to bring relatives in, roll up Border Patrol, roll up ICE, roll up all the things that make a country able to actually function as a country. And whether you believe or not they're serious, the threat is serious, and what FAIR works on every day, state by state, city by city, is working to counter that threat. You know, we're your voice for your vision and your values, and these are the values that help build America and make this nation great. And their misguided policies will lead to, frankly, a decline in everything that we hold dear, including the quality of life, value of public education, public safety, quality environment, ability to get to work, and traffic congestion, environmental issues, a whole range of issues. FAIR is your one-stop shop to be active and involved. Get on our website. Join and be part of the team, be part of what we're trying to do here, because every day we give action alerts in your state and your community to go out and make a difference. If you all don't fight for the future of your country, you're going to give it to George Soros, you're going to give it to opposition organizations, Casa de Maryland, and misguided morons like the county council. We don't want to let them prevail. If you live in a county like Montgomery County, like I do, you realize the consequences of living in a one-party jurisdiction. No debate, no division. Truth suffers. The ability to have an exchange of ideas where different points of view come across so people can choose what the truth is not allowed. Don't want that to happen to your jurisdiction as well. So look at what's happening in Montgomery County, and if you don't fight back, it's coming to a county near you. So Shari and Matt, I want to thank you for joining. And again, download this on our website, Montgomery County Report. Don't miss it, and we'll be back again with another Facebook Live in the near future. I'm Dan Stein. Thank you very much.